What's good, everybody? Jordan here, back with another trade breakdown video, and honestly I think that today's gonna be a good one. I'm gonna be reviewing a trade that I took this week off of GBPJPY, off of the daily time frame and the 4-hour time frame. And honestly, this trade really tested my patience, considering the fact that I spent 24 hours in drawdown before I saw any profit. And so I'm really excited to share that with you guys and break this thing down. So without any further ado, if you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, and let's get into the trade. So yeah. First things first, man. I love to see the volume. I love to see the nice impulse push to the upside. Basically creating new highs, breaking previous highs, making those highs the lows. So I got my impulse push to the upside. Automatically, I see that we are in an uptrend from the weekly as well as the daily. So always want to trade with the trend. I'm not against counter trend trading, but you know, I always just like to trade with the trend. So again, I got my impulse push to the upside. Immediately, I'm taking out the fibs, knowing that we are just in a overall general bullish sentiment here. I pull out my fib and I just wait for the pullback. Honestly, I want to pull back all the way, you know, to these highs, which is also the 382 on the fib level. So like that, boom. And as soon as we tap 382, I feel comfortable going down to the 4-hour and seeing if I could break structure. And where I break structure is where I will look for the retests, and then hopefully I'll be able to, you know, enter in the position and, you know, on the retest. So from there, again, once price pulls back, we could see whether or not we could find some structure to take advantage of. Now, if you look at the bottom of the chart, you'll realize the date. And during this initial pullback to the 50, we are at the end of the week. We're at the end of last week. So at this point, we got Thursday, Friday, and on to the new week. So from here, honestly, I wasn't even looking at it until about Monday afternoon going into Tuesday. So going into Tuesday, this is what I saw. And if you look at it a little closer, you train your eyes, you start to see a little bit of an inverse head and shoulders. And an inverse head and shoulders is, if you don't know, now you know, a reversal pattern to the upside. And that's that psychology right there, retesting the neckline to then continue higher. So with that information, I see what's kind of going on. I see the structure. First and foremost, whenever I try to take advantage of a move, and after the pullback has happened, you can't just get in, because a lot of people like misunderstand things, and it's like, hey, once we hit the 50, you could click the buy button. And yeah, it did work here, but who's to say you click the buy button, you have zero confirmation, and price goes lower, stopping you out. Now you've lost money because you didn't trade without, you know, any confirmations. So my confirmation here is, I love to see a set of highs, you know, being here, and I love to see a set of lows being broken as well at the same time. And what that'll tell me is, it'll show me enough volume and it'll show me enough structure based off of the data and the back testing that I've done, that the trade's ready to then flip to the other side and now make that recent area of resistance its new support to then continue higher. So with that being said, I want this area to break. I want this area to break because, again, I will be breaking a set of lows, and then I'll be breaking, a set of highs, and then I'll be breaking a set of lows, being right here. And at that point, you know, data tested, we could take that trade. We could take the buys. So basically, I'll wait for structure to break. We'll wait for the green box to break. And with the break of the green box, I'm going to set my buy limit on top of the wicks. And that's going to be my trigger. And then I'm going to get in. And boom, that's exactly what we got. So let me take a break for a second, see what time that was. It was at 4 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So I get up around that time, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. We start looking at the charts. You know, we see this move. We've planned it out. We've dictated the structure that we want to break. We've gotten a strong close above this area. It didn't break strong this point of interest here. It didn't break this point of interest too strong, but nonetheless it did close strong enough to where I did feel comfortable, and I had my risk set in place to where if price goes a little bit lower, it'll stop me out, and that'll be that. So with the fact that this closed above this area, I felt comfortable for setting my buy limit on top of these wicks here, setting my stop loss below structure here. Had a 55 pip stop loss, and I took my take profit at 2-to-1. And when I say I took my take profit at a 2-to-1, I took 90% of my profit and I let the rest run into deeper profit. So I think the next candle is the one that triggered me in, honestly. So boom, there's the trigger candle. And I didn't say this in the beginning of the video, but I basically spent 24 hours in drawdown, which is never before seen for me. I've never done that before, and the emotions that I dealt with going through the trade while being in drawdown for 24 hours, honestly, I surprised myself, bro. I ain't gonna lie, I surprised myself. The emotions were in check, my psychology was in check, and really the one thing that I had to do to probably keep me from freaking out was text one of my homies and asked him what did he think about it. He gave me some encouraging words, and then that was it from there. And yeah, we just basically let the trade play out, see what it does. And like I said, we got that a long time period of drawdown, 24 hours. It's not anything short. So from there, honestly, I've shown a lot of progress, bro. I've shown so much progress to where at this point I'm closing. If we get to an area and we're in drawdown and then it bumps back up into a little bit of profit and then it hits the entry, I would close. This time last year, I'm closing. And then we get a candlestick like that where it's another bearish candle, and I'm like, damn, well, maybe it's breaking lows. Maybe it's going to see lower. Maybe it just goes to my stop loss. Let me close it so that I can manage risk. Yeah, well, you do that and you run the risk of not letting your trade play out. The trade doesn't come, and hit stop loss anyway, and it plays out and hits your take profit. But you closed already, so you don't get the chance to experience that. And honestly, that really just comes, over time and just trial and tribulations. But gonna let this play out nonetheless, and that's exactly what we get. And I closed, like I said, I closed 95% of the trade once it hit my 2-to-1 target, and let the rest run for greater profits. And I moved my stop loss to break even at this point. And I want to say my trade went to 160 pips, which is equivalent to a 3-to-1, honestly. And I had my take profit and my fibs messed up a little bit, but nonetheless, the risk to reward was on point. It was fucking on point. And I wound up taking full profit this morning at 160 pips, I believe. So move stop loss to break even, and at that point, it's a risk-free trade. We go higher. On the 4-hour, we pull back a little bit to retest the point of interest with another pullback, rejection, another pullback to continue higher, and then the next two candles, should be the ones that, hit us into take profit, and there it is. So, that's the trade, you guys. Really, honestly, really proud of my psychology. Really proud of the emotions that I displayed on this trade, pretty much. And I don't know, I guess it's just like an attestament to anybody who's having trouble and struggling through trades right now while you're in drawdown. Hold those trades. Have stipulations in place to where, okay, if I'm starting to break lows and I'm not seeing any rejection, strong candlestick closes, okay, maybe I close the candle. But if I start, or maybe I close the trade, but if I start seeing different rejections and I start seeing a double top on higher time or double bottom on higher time frames, maybe I hold that trade. Okay, you might have spent 24 hours in the drawdown, but without that practice, without closing it first, and without going through the things to finally get you to this point, I'm not really sure traders will hold long trades like this. And I don't know, I really don't want to get on a rant right here, right now, but I do hope that somebody was able to learn something based off of the strategy that I used on the daily in the 4-hour time frame. And I hope that they're able to take advantage. I hope you're able to take advantage of this and learn something new today. And I really appreciate you guys for watching. So like I said, this is the trade. If you have any questions, concerns, comments, make sure you let me know in the comments below or on Instagram or wherever you can find me. And yeah, you guys, don't want to make this video too much longer. I really appreciate you guys for watching. And yeah, that's all I got for today. Don't have anything much else to say. Again, appreciate you guys so much for watching. If you like what you see, make sure you hit the like button, and if you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.